Welcome to Transforming the Toddler Years, a Core 4 parenting podcast for conscious, cycle-breaking parents ready to turn toddler tantrums into teachable moments. Hi, I'm Cara Tyrrell, a lifetime lover of littles, mom to 2 grown and flown girls, and an early childhood educator. Through the show, I teach you my collaborative parenting methodology for nurturing your little human's mind, body, and spirit. Because how you connect and collaborate in the first 5 years is how you raise happy, healthy kids who grow into the best version of themselves and find true success in school and life. Welcome back, Toddler Tribe. I cannot believe that this is the first episode of 2025 and also our 2-year anniversary. When I sat down and thought to myself, 2 years and 3 months ago, I think I'd like to start a podcast. I had no idea what this would eventually become. And it's just been such an extraordinary journey that I want to take a few minutes today and share it with you. You are the reason why I decided to start a show. You, the parents of small human beings out there every single day doing the big work of raising their culture, raising their character, raising their morals and their values. And this show, like every other part of our parenting journey, has grown over time, not just in numbers and downloads and people reached, but also in our focus, in our content. I started the show speaking to pandemic moms because at the time, that's where the struggle really was landing. These sweet little humans that joined the world during such an incredibly different time period than we've ever experienced. And as we approached the first year of the show in its completion, I realized, wow, we're not in that place anymore. Thank goodness. We are in a new space of re-entering the world, and everybody is being directly affected now by that unique start to life that these little humans had. And so the show expanded, as it should, as we should. And I started talking not just to moms, but to entire family units and teachers who were looking at these little people as they started preschool. And a whole new journey opened up both for me and for you. And now here we are at the end of the second year, and true to form, because I just love learning and I love growing, I've learned something even more core about myself. As I listen back to some of the episodes over time, as I listen to your feedback, read your comments and reviews, I realized what my unique value is when I come to you on the microphone. It is the intentional language that I give you. Whether it's reframing a mindset or a perspective shift that you need in order to address your children, your students, even some of you are saying this is working on your partners and other adults in your life. And of course it is. That is where I live. I love language. I love being intentional with it. I love putting meaning behind it and using it to deeply connect with other people so that they want to make a different choice. Not because we told them that we had to, not because we told them that if they didn't, there would be a consequence, but because deep down inside, something shifted. There was a self shift in the other person because of the words that we chose and the tone that we use and our overall affect. That is the gift that I love to give you every time I come to the show. And so that is going to be our focus. for year 3. And some of you have likely already grabbed my new freebie. And there are 5 things that your toddler needs to hear you say every day. Because intentional language matters. And some of you have listened to the micro series that we had running through the entire holidays, right? 5 minutes or less. And yes, they were specific to what we were dealing with in that moment with the tree and the presents and the caroling and the missed naps and the meltdowns. But did you notice running through the entire series were those short, intentional language script starters that I fed you to help you ground into the moment and then connect with your child? So why does language matter so much to me? Well, I'll tell you my story. I love to tell you my stories. I've always actually cared a great deal about language. My brain is just wired that way. And so as a young girl, when somebody would say something, I would intrinsically accept it as the truth because I believed their words, the meaning behind them, the intention behind them. I just believed it. And for me, what that meant as a young girl is that everybody thought I was just a little bit gullible. And to be honest, I think I was. But there's a fine line there between gullibility, which is just being able to be led in any direction by anybody because of what they say, and truly believing other people. So in addition to that, I also am someone who's always had one of those hearts, those sweet souls that believes the best in others, right? That altruistic outlook, that there's a higher possibility that that person is here to do something good than there is that they're here to do something bad. The idea that people would do bad things on purpose intentionally blew my mind. Yeah, I know. And so as I grew up, the realistic world kind of creeped in. The realities were there. And I thought, okay, I need to have some filters to this. But my nature, my true character is one that believes the best in people and believes what they say. This is a blessing, but it's also a little bit of a curse. And so I needed to know more. When I got to college and I realized that my passion was to study American Sign Language, I paired it with a major in linguistics. And so there I was really doing the work, pulling apart languages, looking at their core roots, checking for meaning, how you put it back together, what you say versus what the other person hears. These type of real intentionalities around the way that we use words. And as a teacher of the deaf and hard of hearing, I was teaching in American Sign Language, right? Another whole language. And so I had to be really clear that the meaning that I was, because there's a lot of translation that goes on. If you are a native hearing speaker and you become fluent in American Sign Language, yes, you've learned a second language. And now here I was taking what I knew about teaching and then turning it into full American Sign Language on my hands to teach my classroom what they needed to know and learn. And so my journey with language just continued to grow. I then had the really unique opportunity, and I'm so grateful for this, to dissect the way that we learn to read and become a reading recovery teacher. That journey in and of itself was just so fascinating. The way we make meaning of the words on the page individually and in combination. And then I was given this incredible opportunity to take what I knew about teaching deaf and hard of hearing kids and modify this reading curriculum to meet their needs. For those of you that don't know, 90% of deaf kids are born to hearing parents. And the average reading level, comprehension level of deaf kids who graduate from high school is around 5th to 6th grade, right? They tap out really quickly because the languages are so uniquely different and incredibly hard to master, the reading part of English. I was given this challenge. We see the success that you're having teaching hearing children how to increase their reading ability using this intentional strategies that you've been taught by this curricula. Can you modify it so that our deaf kids have the same opportunity and can come up the ranks as early readers too? Oh my gosh, was that so much fun? It lit me up. I love a challenge. You know I do. That was a really special time period in my early teaching days. And I was successful with those sweet ones. And I just really enjoy every single piece of this. So this is a little bit more of my backstory that I've never told you before, because I want you to see how that next level of expansion is coming for me, but that really every piece of who I am and every part of my education has been leading me my whole life to this. And it's why I get to travel the United States and beyond, teaching teachers how to use intentional language in their preschool classrooms and in their childcare centers and in their kindergartens, because that connection point, the intentionality and the meaning behind our words is actually what opens up children's ability to learn the content. We cannot be a content-driven teacher. I know that sounds crazy, right? Here I am telling you about my decades of experience and saying, oh, we shouldn't be teaching content. Well, of course we are. But if you simply go to the content without laying a foundation of a relationship built on words that allows a child to trust you. Oh, I can believe her words. I can trust his words. They always tell me the truth. That allows a child to respect you. Well, I don't like what they're telling me right now. I really wish there was something else that I could do. But I know that when I have a big feeling, they listen to me, right? They respect me too. So I will go ahead and listen to them right now. Yes. Yes, this is possible with your 1-year-olds, your 2-year-olds, your 3, your 4, your 5-year-olds. It is that gateway to self. Your only job as a parent of a little, as a teacher of a little, as a caregiver of a little, your only job is to recognize who it is that you have in front of you and ask them to be themselves. Give them permission to be themselves, and then bust open the gates and create opportunities for them to learn the self skills, to grow from within. When we focus on content in those early years, the ABCs, 1, 2, 3's, colors, numbers, the things they can prove and show and wow your guests with, that's from without. That's from outside of them. That's something they have to chase. When we focus on within, it's the inside flower blossom that allows them to then confidently and calmly learn all the good stuff they need to know later. Because they are totally empowered with these I can sentences, these I can stories, these I am belief systems. Those neural pathways have been developed because you were there helping grow them from their earliest years. I am someone who can learn through new things. I can do things even when they're hard and celebrate myself on the other side. I know that I am capable of. That is our only job. So that's what I'm going to do this year. I'm going to spend the next iteration of this show empowering you with the words so you can empower the children in your life with their sense of self And together, this generation is who we are going to impact in such a way that they are going to save us. They are going to grow up with all the self-skills they need. Self-assuredness, self-confidence, self-advocacy, and the ability to see and hear other people's perspectives too. This is a really important distinction. A very strong, centered sense of self does not mean that they're self-absorbed. It does not mean that they're egotistical or narcissistic or enabled. It actually means the exact opposite. It means they're able to sit inside humility, even though they can do big things. It means they're able to share empathy and compassion with others, even if they don't have the same experience. This is who we want to raise. This is the world that we need to populate with this type of child, this type of human who will share all their goodness as they grow through every stage and every age, and we will start to see the shift that we are looking for. Collaborative parenting, collaborative teaching, collaborative humanness. This is where we are headed, and it all starts with the words that we allow to come out of our mouth and the intentionality we put behind them. So if you haven't already, I invite you to grab my freebie, 5 sentences infants, toddlers, preschoolers need to hear us say every single day to start this process. Happy 2025. I hope your new year is off to an extraordinary start. And for the rest of the month here on the show, I have guests coming in to talk to you about sleep, because putting routines back together after all the hullabaloo can be a little tricky. So I'm really excited for this next year. I hope you are too. And I look forward to our next time together. You know what to do. Until our next episode, stay mindful and proactive as we transform the toddler years.